Now, recently, blogger Jason Lee came out and he essentially told Jay-Z and Beyonce to stop calling him. Now, for those wondering why he told Jay-Z and Beyonce to stop calling him, this is because Jason Lee is somebody who sees himself as some sort of savior for Jay-Z and Beyonce. He came out essentially saying that there was a story in regards to Beyonce. Now, he didn't go into detail about the story, but he came out and said there was a story in regards to Beyonce that he kept quiet. He basically put a halt to the story and made sure the story didn't come out.
Oh, and you also stopped.
We not going to even go there. I stopped a major thing for Beyonce. Didn't even get a thank you.
And he was expecting praise for this. He was expecting admiration for this. He didn't get this. Now, he has been insinuating that Jay-Z and Beyonce have been calling him. And it can only lead you to think, what have they been calling him about? Well, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they've been in the media a lot lately over the Diddy situation. There's been a lot of people talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce's involvement with P. Diddy. Now, the reason that it's seeming like Jay-Z and Beyonce are going towards Jason Lee to basically stop him from certain stories coming out is because we saw with the Piers Morgan situation when Jay-Z and Beyonce's lawyer put a cease and desist on Piers Morgan.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
We saw with that situation that Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're trying to monitor their public image, their public perception. So essentially, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they've called Jason Lee up from a second party, not them specifically. They've called Jason Lee up from a second party, essentially telling Jason Lee, please keep some of these stories down.
But
So
now everybody's
so
calling.
why is everybody calling me now? Because I'm a firefighter. Because I run towards fires and I put them out or I fan the flames. But why is everybody calling me now? And that's the problem that I have with this whole situation. But I am going to save this conversation for Jay-Z. Jay-Z, you're watching. I know you're watching because you got people calling.
Please keep them cold. We don't want these stories going hot. Now, Jason Lee is feeling some type of way because he sees it as, I've been trying to get a relationship with you, Jay-Z and Beyonce, all this time. I've been stopping all these stories, but now you finally need me. The public is basically turning on you and you finally need me. And essentially, you're coming now to tell me, oh, can you stop these stories coming out? But beforehand, when I was already stopping stories coming out, you guys weren't really showing me love. You weren't really inviting me to certain places. He basically seems upset, if I'm being honest, that they're not really fucking with him. He basically seems upset that they're not his friend. You know, he's giving off the energy of a beg. You know, he needs to relax and calm down. That's just my opinion. Like, he's kind of glazing them right now, but, you know, I'm not sure he'll be disappointed with that. But back to what I'm saying. He essentially came out saying that Jay-Z and Beyonce have been getting people to call him to stop certain stories coming out. And he's feeling bold, like, yeah, they need me now. They didn't want me before they need me. But Jason Lee does have a history of kind of clout chasing Jay-Z and Beyonce in a sense, because sometime last year, he came out saying that he had another story about Beyonce that was going to come out and it never came out. So he basically seems like he has a history of just bothering the Carters. Like, leave them folks alone. Now, he said something that kind of made things take a weird turn to where it came off like he was basically threatening Jay-Z and Beyonce into kind of friendship. There was a part on his show where he basically claimed to have some information about Beyonce. Now, when he said this information, he made sure to bleep out everything he was saying. But by the reaction of his podcast hosts, you could kind of see that the information that he was spilling was quite severe. And he said that if he didn't book Kelly Rowland, because he was initially trying to book Kelly Rowland, he said if he didn't book Kelly Rowland due to everything going on, that he was going to leak the information.
I think optically, when you don't include other black leaders in the culture in the fold, I mean, not just take me out of it. The Breakfast Club, I mean, you should have honored and brought more black. And I spent thousands, over $40,000 in tickets and shared the experience with friends. And I've done a lot, and I'm not even going to say it here because if I did, this internet, Beyonce's good internet, would go crazy. I'm going to tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh. And that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there was one more thing. Beat this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
Maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce.
Yvette
and they're not going to
knows.
share that with her.
Yvette knows. I
Her
got the
people
receipts. I
know.
still
Her
have the
people know.
receipts. Yvette know I got the receipts. I got them. Now, if I get that message to Beyonce,
Yes,
I
she
can
needs
get
to
it
know.
to I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's going to be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out.
Now, I'm pretty sure he did book Kelly Rowland, so the information never came out. But essentially, it seems like Jason Lee is kind of bullying Jay-Z and Beyonce into friendship, especially at a time where they're really being, shamed in the public eye for just having association with Diddy. A lot of people are turning on them. Beyonce, I believe, lost about 6 million followers due to this whole Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce affiliation. So they really kind of need people on their side when it comes to these blogs, etc. That's why they're doing cease and desist. They got that video taken down off of Piers Morgan's channel. They need to change the public perception. So Jason Lee's kind of feeling big, like they need me right now. They need me right now. So let me pop it a little bit. This is my time to get that friendship I've always wanted with the Carters. So I think he's going about it a crazy way. Like, I don't think if you want friendship and connections with these type of people, you're trying to mingle with these type of people, I don't think that's the way you should be going about it, basically threatening people into friendships. Like, that's crazy. And then you're leaking information about Beyonce to your podcast host. Like, you just leaked it to your podcast host. You could have kept it all to yourself, but you leaked it to your podcast host and put a little bleep so we don't hear it, the public. But you're basically saying, I've got information, and you're leaking it to other people. So I'm assuming he believes the information is true for him to be so confident to be leaking it to his podcast host. Because me personally, if I hear information and I don't know the validity of it, I'm not going to go tell my podcast host about it and start spreading, because that's how the rumor spread. And then they tell someone, and then the rumor or whatever he's trying to hide, it gets out. So I think Jason Lee is going about a crazy way. Now, I don't really watch Jason Lee like that, but from what I've picked up, he has a history of just being weird like this and thinking he's the center of attention. So this is crazy. And it also shows me that Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z and Beyonce, as cool, calm, and collected as they may be trying to play things, they are concerned about the public turning on them. It seems like they are concerned about the public turning on them and their public perception being tainted, essentially. It seems like they're concerned about it. But at the end of the day, this Diddy situation is going to keep going on. If information comes out about Jay-Z and Beyonce, then they're going to be overly cooked. Right now, they're a little bit cooked. You know, it's like when you burn the toast a little bit. I can still put butter on it. It's still, it's still edible. That's where they're at right now. But if something comes out to say that they're aligned with Diddy, or this information Jason Lee was saying on his show comes out, then they're going to be overly cooked. That's when you take the bread, you throw it in a trash. It's overly cooked. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Jason Lee's being messy? Do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce are desperate right now? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this whole situation. I appreciate you for checking this one out. I'm out of here.